If you're finding it difficult right now to find a book niche that has low competition but has the opportunity to earn plenty of money, then you found the right video, and I want to be able to show you a particular niche you can get into today. Hi, my name's Romney Nelson, and thank you very much for joining me on my YouTube channel. This channel is all about helping you to start, grow, and really to scale your self-publishing business. So if you like these sort of videos, make sure you give me the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so when I do produce more videos like this, you're the first to know about them. So in today's lesson, we're going to try and find a niche that has or ticks the right boxes. So we want to make sure that we have a high need, low competition, and we have books that are actually ranking, under around about 150 or so BSR, 150,000 BSR. Niches can be difficult to find. As the market gets a little bit more saturated, you need to be able to try and find those areas that are pretty much untapped still at the moment. And it can be particular keywords which customers are searching for, but there's not really many books in that particular niche area. So in a moment, I'm going to jump on to Amazon. We're going to find that particular niche, but in addition to that, I'm going to actually show you how to try and make that book. So it cuts the corners of you trying to create it. I'll actually show you a few tips about how to do that yourself, and you can get started with it as soon as this lesson's done. So watch now and look forward to showing you what I can find. So to start our research, we need to start to think about maybe popular areas right now. So we're in quarter 3. It's back to school time. Kids will probably be starting with returning to school, or might be homeschool activities. So we need to start to think a bit broadly and not a particular, maybe not just focusing on high school kids, even elementary age kids. So let's think of that younger generation who are still learning to write, learning to create, learning to draw. So I came across a niche that I think will really benefit. And what we're going to do as part of this is locate that niche, and then I'm going to actually walk you through the process of actually creating that book. So it's pretty much an all-in-one lesson, so that you don't necessarily just have to create it without a background or knowledge about how to do it. So I'll show you those steps of how to do that as well. So let's look at what the niche might look like. So let's get rid of that. So the niche that I was looking at was called, so if we do story starters, it comes up with 3 here. If we were just going to go for story starters, then it's probably going to be fairly broad. So let's have a look at that, and let's niche down as we go through. So 6,000, but if we were to add story starter, let's have a look, starter books for kids. Let's have a look now. So we're looking for something around about the 1,000 mark or under, and there's a couple of other key criteria that we're going to be looking for as well. So I'll just wait for this to load. Here we go. So it's loaded. The criteria we're looking for when we do niche research, we want to make sure it ticks some boxes so that we have the opportunity to compete and compete well. Because if we looked at a search result, that might be, let's just do, I'll come back to this very, very quickly. I just want to give you an idea though. Gratitude journal for kids. Let's have a look at how compare. So we're looking for 1,000 search results. And if we look at this one very, very quickly, you'll see the competition we're going against. 60,000. you're so unlikely to compete well in that particular niche. It is very, very saturated. So let's go back to our niche that we had. Okay, and let's tick the boxes that we need to ensure that we can compete. And this is what niche research is all about. And it's about finding that the areas that we know we can compete well in, and there's a need and a demand for it. So let's have a look. Learn to read activity books, not really a story starter book. Writing prompts, that is. So let's have 528, no. 38,000. We need about 3 or maybe 4 on the first page. Number 1. Okay, so that starts there. Different books, that was January 18, 2020, 2015. So that's got 38,000 BSR. 34. Let's just write, I might write that down. So at $9.95 at 34,000 BSR as an example, or 34 and a half. 644. I'll do a calculation in a moment. That's 2. It's 3. It's 1. So we want them under around about 200,000 BSR. No. Writing prompts 310, a little bit high. Yes, 21,000, 106,000, 43,000. There's a comic book. So we've got our books already, which is great. So that's the evidence we require at this point in time. The next thing we want to check is to find out what these books are actually making via 2 ways. So let's go to this book here. Let's grab the ASIN and we're going to go to our data insights. Let's put it in here, see if it comes up. It may or may not come up, but let's have a look. And this will tell us a bit of information about this particular book. And it'll tell us about the product overview. It'll also give us some information about the keywords and the listing and a few other things as well. So it's invalid. So let's go back and let's do another one. Let's try this one and see if this one works. If not, I've got another way we can find it anyway. Okay, this one comes up. So it's only got number of reviews. Sure, I have to go back. It's got 4.5 stars, $9.95, 8.5. I think it's an 8.5 by 11. Yep. So let's have a look. And these are the keywords it is ranking for as well. So it's ticking these boxes at the moment. Let's have a look at one other thing that I want to check as well. We want to check through our KD Spy and find out how much these books are making and what we need to do. So looking at the keyword of story starter books for kids. Keyword analysis. Okay, we want to go keyword word cloud. So these are the different keywords these books are sort of ranking for. So let's have a look. We want to get rid of what we call our outliers. So these are books which are like just blown out and we don't want to put them in the calculation. So let's eliminate that one, eliminate those 2, possibly a third. If we look at that now, average sales rank is 100, fantastic. Monthly revenue, 16,000. Average price is $10.28. So we can definitely compete in this niche here. And it's important that we check those. So popularity, potential, just a little bit of competition, not too bad. That's great. The final check we need to do is, can we create these books quite easily? So let's have a look. Let's jump into, let's just jump into this one here and have a look inside. It was published in January 18, 2020, and we're looking for the look inside feature, and we can then determine how easy these books are to create. So let's wait for that to load up. Then we click here, and we want to see if this is something that would take us less than a couple of days to really make, and a little bit of imagination. So let's have a look inside and see what it does, what it looks like. For some reason, the look inside feature isn't working. So we're going to go back and pick that other one that looked very, very similar. Let's go this one. And we're looking for the features of the book to allow us to compete. So $9.95, so it's a good price, and there's a bit of margin in there that we can make as well. 120 pages, 8.5 by 11. Okay, 34,000 ranking. Let's look inside this one. Hopefully this one will work, I hope. Here we go. Let's have a look. So we scroll down, if we can. It's easy. Yep. Okay, so it's split into chapters. How to use a book, that's easy to create. Yep. Okay, right. So all they've done is 2 to 3 sentences and started with the prompt. So Sophia couldn't believe it. Her new YouTube video had over 500 views. Someone even left a comment. She was going to be famous. Well, let's hope this video gets 500 views and I get famous. More than anything, Connor wanted to try out for the school play, but there was one giant problem standing in his way. He was terrified of being on stage. Okay, so they're very, very easy to create. Just takes a little bit of imagination. You can even do, so you could do one and have 2 pages, so you wouldn't have to have a prompt every single page. Remember, you can split it up into chapters, so it doesn't need to be 120 writing prompts. You might want to make it 80 and make it a little bit different. And they've just done little pictures here as well. So let's have a look at the format. So little pictures here and that there. Okay, let's go and quickly have a look. So I will quickly show you how you could create this very, very quickly. All right, so the first thing you do is to jump onto Canva. And Canva, I've had other videos before. You can use canva.com for free. There is a pro version, but you don't necessarily have to get it unless you want a greater and a better variety of graphics and things to use. But with this book, you probably wouldn't necessarily need it. So we do a custom size, and we want to make sure this is in inches. Don't do it in pixels because it'll confuse when you go to load your book up. 8.5 by 11, and then we create a new design. Okay, the next thing you would do is that first introductory page. So like this one here, you'd need to do something like that, and we would simply get the text, and then you can create your text with however you want to. So that is your choice. What I'll do is I'll pause the video for the moment and I'll just show you a bit of an example. Then we'll continue on with the design. So I've just done a very basic start here, and I even did a really quick cover, just something like that. Doesn't need to, like, I haven't done anything special. I just put that together for you just to show you what it could potentially look like. And then with the book here, let's have a look again back at this one here. So they've got the front cover there, which we don't need to do, well, done as an example, but you don't need to do until a bit later on. Then you've got your starting bit here. Then you've got the introduction. So we can just go back and write. So we just add page, and we would simply, I'm not going to be doing all this information, otherwise it'd take forever. So we just do intro page. So you have all the information here. Then on your next page, let's have a look what they've done. So table of contents. So we go back and just grab that again. This is just to show you, because this is not something that I need to show you how to do. You can easily do this yourself, but I will show you another quick little bit. Contents page. We'll go here. Okay, then the next page would be maybe a how-to section. So go back again, grab that. So it's the this is just so that you can have an idea when you're creating your book, just to get the structure right and to make sure everything's correct. Thanks, Grammarly. Oh. Okay, it's written there, and then we simply would need to do our, so we could do something like that. Now to get these lines like here, obviously it's nice and easy to do the writing. So you could create the writing however you want to on here. So you just have your section. We would just choose something which is nice and easy. So even if it was something like this. Okay, once it loads up. Okay, I was wandering along the beach. Just trying to think of a little story. Wandering along the beach, and I noticed a special seashell. It had very bright colours. Suddenly, seashell, and then you could do the story. So we could just reduce this, and we do like this, and you'll just that you've got the spelling yourself correctly, correct? And I have spelt wandering incorrectly. And so what you do is create your writing. You might even want that a little bit wider, like that. And we want to put it in the middle. So we just do that, and then position, make sure we center it. Okay, this is just very rough, just to show you though, how to do this. Then, to get the writing lines, so you go elements, you write writing lines. And we're looking, so as I mentioned, there are going to be things on here that are only applicable for Canva Pro users. However, there are areas, so see how it says comes up with Pro? Unless you had the Pro subscription, you can't use that. So I want to find one that I can get all of you to use if you have the free version. So I'll pause this for the moment, and all I'm going to be doing is scrolling down until I find it, and then I'll keep recording. I found it. It's this one just here. So it's free. You click on that one, or you can do this one as well. It's your choice. You might actually, for a child, could also be a very good one. And then what you need to do is you can position it. We don't want them. You can. Well, it's probably best to go all black because it's only going to be a black manuscript anyway. So the black and white manuscript. So we just want to do this. And then you can reduce the size, and then we can move it across like this. Okay, and then we want to position it, so center, yep, and then you can add extra ones down like this. Nice and easy. And then the child can actually learn to write within those lines. So that's another way you can also do it. Then you simply add the page, and then you would continue and creating your own little special story. Now, I would potentially bring this in a little bit because you'd rather have this in that section there, because it could get cut off as part of your book creation, and KDP don't want you to have anything too close to the margin. So it's probably better to fix it now, and then you can keep on creating. So you would simply just go copy, and then you go down to the next page, Control V, paste it, and then you can do your next little story. You can even copy that writing up here and keep on going, and then you keep on adding the pages. And then you would, when you download it, just make sure you download it and save it as a PDF. So it comes up like this. We would change it. We would go to PDF print, and then you'd save it. You'd save it as a PDF print copy. And with your story, okay, you can say, you make sure you say there's a PNG file. right? Save it as a PNG, because then you can do that. Now, what I'll do is I'll create a link to how to create the book and put the book together, and it's part of one of the books series I've done, and I'll go through every element of creating the book and loading it to KDP. So make sure you check out that video as well. So let's go back and have a final look at the niche that we were looking at. So this is very, very easy to do. So if we scroll here, write your own stories, and that's part of it's an excellent niche to get into, and it covers all the different the key criteria that we need to be able to compete well in this area. So I'll leave it with that. But before I do finish, what I wanted to do was to run this in the calculator. So 34, it's $9.95. So let's go to our 34644. So let's have a look. 34644, and it is a book. And calculate. Okay, 128 sales per month. So let me do that quick calculation. So 128 by 9.95 would equal $1,273.60. So that's really good for a month. If you imagine if you can get that a book. That's just the revenue. Remember, you need to, that's the full revenue, and you would generate probably around about, let's have a, yeah, so I'm just looking, it's 128 by around about $3, possibly a bit more. It's around, nearly $400 US per month from one book. So if you look at that, it's a great way to be able to get into a niche, and you can create a few different designs and different age groups as well. So hopefully you've been able to get something from this lesson. So that was the niche that I was hoping I was going to be able to find for you, and it was good that I did, because it's a niche that you can actually get into. Start your book, be creative with it, but make sure you tick those elements of having a great cover. You are creative in regards to creating the manuscript, and you price it that it's going to be competitive. All right, so they're the three main things, and also the description is also important that you get right. Now, I have some videos about creating books descriptions that stand out, but also I've got the videos in regards to how to create a KDP book and then launch it onto Amazon as well. So if you haven't checked out those videos, make sure you do, because I go through everything as part of a tutorial in those videos. So remember, if you have liked this video, to give me a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're aware of any new videos I'm doing, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.